In this super quick After Effects tutorial, you will learn how to make this amazing looking text overlay animation where we have this blurry background, this moving outline shape, and these flickering letters. And this is just way more interesting and just more eye-catching than any normal text upon some random footage. So I would say let's just go right into it. So here I have a new composition with just the background, and let's first of course, add a new text. And I'll just type an example. Then we can press S on the keyboard to access the scale settings and just scale it up a bit. Then we can also go to the Align tab on the right. It should be here. And if not, you can just open the window and go to Align and align it in the center. And yeah, just like this. I also think sometimes it looks good if you turn up the space a bit between the letters. So let's also do that real quick, something like 100 or maybe even 200. And let's also then just center it again. And yeah, now we have our text. Now let's focus on this blurred background and the moving outline. This is super simple. Let's just right click in here, go to new, and let's add a shape layer for this. For the shape, we can just go to add and add a rectangle. Here we can also directly add a stroke. So now we can see the actual outline. Of course, this default shape is not good, so let's change it. And here we can first of all unlock this size setting here, the proportional size. And just turn this up a bit until it's like fitting with a bit of space, of course, to the text, just like this. And I also really think that these these not round corners don't look good. So let's give it around corners, just like this. And maybe for this example and for visibility purposes, let's also increase the stroke wideness to something like 4. But this is completely up to you. Now we can also animate this line. So it's just like moving around, like in this example, which is super easy. We just can go to the settings and open up the taper settings and put in the start length to 100. And now we can see, it has some fade in the line, but it doesn't move at all. So we have to add another effect, which is the trim path effect. And for this, we can just animate the offset. So you can just go to the beginning of the animation, put in a keyframe in here, and then just play with this value a bit. And now we have this super cool line. What's missing though is the blurred background, which is just good for the clean look. And we can also add that. For that, we can just duplicate the shape layer by pressing Ctrl D. Now we can open this shape layer number 2 up, go to contents, and first of all, delete the trim paths. And we can also delete the scroll and instead add a fill. And here, it doesn't matter what color this is or whatever, because we will also hide this layer. Then we'll add a new layer, which is an adjustment layer. And for this one, we can apply the blur effect. Now it's loading a bit. And yeah, the blur effect is just the Gaussian blur effect, which we can directly apply and increase the blurriness. Now you will see the whole animation or the whole composition is affected, and we don't want that, obviously. So we can just go to the matte setting in here, the track matte setting. If you don't have this, you can just toggle these modes by pressing the button down here. So yeah, we have to have this mode. And then we can just select the new shape layer number 2. And now it will just be within this shape. But we can see this is above everything, so the text will also be blurred. So let's just take the text and bring this up. And let's also bring up the shape layer number 1, so it's above this blur thing. And now this looks just super clean and super cool. What we also could add though is compared to this example, is these flickering text, which also is really simple. For that, we can just go to the effects and presets, open up the animation presets where we can find some nice presets. And just let's go to the text settings. Let's go to lights and optical and just add this fluorescent light effects directly to our text. By default, you will see this is super quick. Maybe you like it, but I like it a bit more slow. So for this example, you can just play with the settings, open the text tab, open up the animator. Let's first of all turn down the wiggles per second to 3. And now this should look a bit more simple, a bit more clean. And sometimes also like to bring down the mid amount to -100 and the max amount to something like 60. I think that example we use, and that just gives it like a, yeah, not that super strong effect. So it's a bit more chill, I would say. And yeah, that's already it. I hope you enjoyed this one, and see you next time.